Hey guys, and welcome to the third Elo Cast. This one was actually sent in by a user in my Discord channel. I won't give away who because I don't want to spoil who wins. But yeah, no, it's cool to have a cast from someone other than myself. And if you guys want to send one in, definitely go ahead and do it. As you'll see, this is a true Elo Cast. So a lot of you guys are going to play at kind of a similar level if you're just starting, and highly encourage you guys to send these in. I definitely want to get some replays from, some varied things. It doesn't have to be like top level play. It can be just totally learners, beginners, and we can just learn together. No judgment here. A lot of your games will probably look pretty noobish, and that's okay. That's great. We can learn together. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and look at some of the initial build orders here. Top right, we have Flood in UEF in red up here. Looks like he is building a factory, and he has there's one engineer coming off, and then he's building a mech marine. Okay, and looks like he has mass extractor, a couple power generators, and then he's just building some mass extractors. Okay, so yeah, that works. Would probably just build some more engineers before doing a mech marine, but I guess I like the early aggression. Just have to make sure not to power stall. I'd probably build one power generator before building these mass extractors, but looks like he's gonna make it, and then he's going for this hydrocarbon as well. Okay, so that's what he's doing. He's doing the hydro rush, and then let's see. Cigar abuser over here in blue. He's going for this hydro rush, but it looks like he's power stalling right now, which is gonna hurt a little bit. So it looks like he gets that finished though, and he also has a little scout party coming off. And then he has queued down here with a little engineer, which I really like. And as for elos, I think I checked these guys out earlier, between like 600 to 800. So nothing too crazy. Again, if a lot of you guys are starting out, you'll probably be in this range up here. But yeah, let's go ahead. I'm just going to bump it up a notch a little bit to see what happens. So we have one scout party going up this way, another scout party going down that way. And let's see what they can see. So I'm just going to say cigar for just shorthand. He's going both ways, doesn't really see too much. I would probably... Cool, his commander's moving out. Probably build out a couple more factories with his commander. I have an order, or I have a video, rather, on build orders, which if you guys haven't seen, would definitely check that out. Generally, you want to build like 3 factories with your commander before moving them out. Once you get a little bit better, you don't have to do that every time, but generally a good rule of thumb to just get your base going a little bit with your commander before moving them out. But it looks like Cigar just wants to build a nice pretty base down here with lots of power generators. So this does look pretty and is satisfying, but your units will actually get stuck on the power generators. Once all these are built up here, these like Mantis or honestly any unit really, they're going to come off the production line and they're just going to bump into the power generator over and over and over again. And it actually delays units quite significantly. So I would recommend not ringing your base like this. And instead just making either a line or kind of like a grid, where if you saw my last Elo Cast, I did the grid method. But at least he's getting his power built. That is better than not having power at all. So looks like he's doing fine on eco. And let's see what Flood over here is doing. Flood is looking pretty happy to just sit in his base. And he actually has some units out already, which let's see how many units he has. 4 tanks, okay. 8 anti-air, holy cow, that's a lot of anti-air considering there is no air on the map yet, and he has air factory up and running too. Wow, so okay, he's making interceptors already, and he has 8 anti-air, which are just kind of chilling. So couple words of wisdom here. One, probably don't need so much anti-air, especially on 5v5 maps like this. Because, I mean, it's probably going to be a couple interceptors, maybe a bomber here and there. I'd probably only build anti-air maybe you can build like one preemptively if you're pretty sure your opponent's going to send an early bomber. But there is a scout plane, so I guess, it's warranted to build a couple anti-air. 8's probably too much. And then just leaving them sitting in your base, really any of these units, just do something with them. It doesn't really matter what you do with them, but just do anything. Really, just send them over here, see what happens, send them down this way. If they run into enemy contacts, then send some more units. But having them just kind of chilling in your base, they're not really doing anything for you. They're not really getting map control. I mean, I guess they're not dying, so that's a positive right there. But yeah, no, let's see if Cigars do anything. So Cigar is also kind of just happy to chill with his units, not really pushing too hard. He's patrolling up here with a hunter, it looks like, and really could easily just send an engineer and just snatch up 8 mass extractors, which is a ton. If you look at your original base, which has 4 mass extractors in it, you can triple your original base just by sending just any engineer. Like, look at this guy. This guy doesn't even have orders right now. So let's see if we can see him. He has 3. I love doing this pretty much every game, guys. Check out this idle engineers thing, and then all you have to do is just double click it, or I guess if you right click it, it'll jump to the idle engineer. But yeah, right click it, just find an idle engineer that's doing something, and like this guy, not doing anything. Super easy, just tell him to build these mass extractors, and that's really all you have to do, is just to gain a lot of mass control. Just find an idle engineer and just go send him off and see what happens. You never know, especially in these low elo games. Holy crap, we have Tech 2 on the field. Yeah, especially in these low elo games, your opponent might just not really do anything about it, so it really can't hurt to just send an engineer off. But holy cow, where's that Tech 2 factory? Oh my gosh, we're on Tech 2 Land HQ, and we're upgrading a second one. So, wow, okay. And this commander looks like he's firing pretty fast. Does he have gun? Holy cow, okay, so yeah, Cigar has gun upgrade, and he's pushing in the base already. Wow. And Flood is building Tech 2 point defense. So wow, we totally skipped the Tech 1 stage here. We went immediately into Tech 2 on this small 5x5 map. That is pretty atypical. Usually these 1v1 games are won in the like Tech 1 spam phase, but both these guys were kind of just happy to just kind of chill with their Tech 1 units and just kind of eco a little bit. So Cigar went in with a force and took out some of these mass extractors, and then took out the second part of the base up here, which is great. Potentially could have gone for the killing blow if how many point defense? Yeah, okay, 2 Tech 2 point defense. I guess that's probably going to take out these 5 units and the commander. So alright, I guess good call to go up and take out all these mass extractors, because that totally cuts off Flood's mass production. So he's at half the mass production as Cigar right now, and that's even without any of these other mass extractors. So it looks like all these guys are going to Tech 2 mass extractors, which again, pretty atypical. Usually on these small maps, all your mass is really going to like units, like land spam. But it looks like in this case, yeah, again, mentioned it, but these guys pretty much skipped over the land spam phase. And now he's blapping the commander. Cigar's blapping Flood over here. But Flood has Tech 2 on his comm, so he has a little bit extra hit points. He has a couple point defense in his base, and just a couple just random units hopping around. Some mobile missile launchers is a curious choice when your base is being actively invaded. But I guess now that I say that, the base is not being actively invaded anymore. He seems to have fought that off. And generally, guys, another just kind of advice, if you see your opponent has a higher tech level than you, that's pretty much a cue to like immediately stop all Tech 1 production and just start. You got to get a Tech 2 factory up and running, because really the tech difference is so big in this game that unless you're like about to win, like actually in my previous cast again mentioned it, but my opponent teched up to tech 2, and he put so much resources into it that I was able to outspam him, and because of that I kept pressuring my opponent the last game and ended up winning. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen that one. But in this case, Cigar is not about to win, so should definitely just prioritize a upgrade, which is sweet. That's what we have going on here. But not even just building an upgrade, I'd go so far as to say halting Tech 1 production and just try to go for as sharp tech switches as you can, because tech difference is so humongous in this game that Tech 1 is really going to be nothing but like cannon fodder at this point, and it's really just going to be mass donations. If we scroll out, what is that, 500, look at all these just wrecks that are just on the base of Flood. So if this was, Flood builds some engineers and just goes and reclaims all this stuff, it's basically 3/4 of an army that he can build again right away. So Flood really should be doing that. Hopefully, what is this guy doing? He's just on, what is this guy doing? I don't know what this guy's doing. I think he's reclaiming. But, he's about to power stall pretty hard with a lot of Tech 1, 23 Tech 1 power. Wow. I'd probably get a Tech 2 power plant going because you're really going to need some power. Generally, when you tech up, you can build a couple Tech 2 units if you're like under immediate pressure, like Flood was. But now that he's not under pressure, I would definitely prioritize some Tech 2 power, because you generally always want to have, the next tech level's power grid before you start like mass producing those kind of units. And it looks like he's not even mass producing them really, but there are 4 of them and he's power stalling. So would definitely step 1, let's see if he has any idle engineers. He has 5 idle engineers. So again, if you double click them or just right click them, you can grab all of them. Just hold the Alt button. Whoops, I just painted a bunch of dots on the map, but just hold the Alt button with your idle engineers and basically just tell them to move here, and then give them another attack move command down here, and they'll get everything on the front line, and that'll help just ginormously. But let us zoom back into the battle here. So these mobile missile launchers are actually going to punish Cigar a little bit, who does have Tech 2 himself now and really needs to move up with them. Basically, if he just lets these mobile missile launchers just attack his base, he's not really going to be able to do anything about it except build buzzkills. But Flood really doesn't have any army. It's just it's exclusively artillery and mobile missile launchers. And can Cigar see that? He can see that, and he is starting to move up. So that's good. But yeah, guys, don't be intimidated by just radar blips. Send a scout plane over or something, or just build like a land scout. Just always, even if you're on Tech 2, just put a Tech 1 land scout in your infinite repeat queue or whatever, and then you don't have to worry about seeing what units are, or worrying about max ranges of units if they go beyond your static radar coverage. It just keep land scouts in here just pretty much constantly until you have radar coverage just you're not worried about at all. But yeah, okay, so he mops up that little incursion by the mobile missile launchers, and it looks like he has gone up here and taken these ones. And fire bases are kind of a tricky subject, but if you're worried about losing these, you don't want to tech up these mass extractors, just build a factory or 2 up here, and then just start producing units out this way. That will, 1, it'll give you some extra protection up here so you can be safe to upgrade these or feel a little bit better about upgrading these. And then 2, you have a whole nother army coming from up here, and I don't think Flood would be able to stop that. Or at least it might, add some pressure to him. And that's what you want to do in these kind of games. You just want to add pressure, basically. The more pressure you apply, the more likely people are to make mistakes. And really, that's kind of just the name of the game over here. And see who he is sending some engineers down this way, which I love. And hopefully one of these guys is going to scoop up all these tanks as well, because that's just a lot of mass, guys. This is a dozen tanks or something that are just sitting here free. Same with this and that. Just start grabbing some engineers, guys. He has a Tech 2 engineer, but he's not idle. I don't know why he's popping up in idle. Maybe that's because I'm just watching the replay. But usually this little bar right here is pretty good about selecting just idle engineers. But yeah, okay, so they are reclaiming. Nice, I like it. And so again, pretty stalematey in the middle here. Both players, again, Flood's composition though is just exclusively artillery. He doesn't have any tanks. So Cigar can just walk all over these guys. He really, Cigar's game plan right now, he doesn't want to let like standoff tactics work. So if you look at this, the rocket bots have a long range too for Tech 2 units, and they're just being picked off by standoff units, by these mobile missile launchers and artillery and stuff. So Cigar definitely doesn't want to fall back right now. He definitely wants to pressure, definitely wants to press. Otherwise, he's just going to keep getting picked off, and really not much he can do about it. I say not much he can do about it, but you know, there's everything he can do about it. He just pushes up. All these units are going to miss. Like, they're going to miss their shots if he pressures them, and Flood can't really do anything about it because he doesn't have any tanks. So if I was Flood right now, I'd definitely start switching into tanks. He does have a couple bombers, which is cool. 3 bombers, 4 bombers. I'm not really sure if that's a play I'd go for, because it looks like Cigar has a decent amount of interceptors for a small map like this. And it looks like... let's see, he is moving up. Cigar's moving up with a couple tanks here, which is perfect. That's what he's doing. They're just kind of walking around, just doing their thing, just shooting these units. They are getting bombed into oblivion, though. So get these fighters in. Another really big one, guys, is to have a hotkey for selecting all fighters. I think mine is Control F. So if I press Control F, everywhere I am on the map, doesn't matter where. If I press Control F, it selects all my fighters. And that way I can be zoomed in on a land battle like this, like microing and stuff. And then I can, if my fighters are parked in my base or whatever, just zoom in on this battle. If you see your opponent come in with gunships or bombers or something, quick press Control F, and then like just tell your fighters just to move over here and just provide cover. So, holy crap, that's a lot. That is a lot. 11 Tech 2 point defense, and that is going to melt the Tech 3 unit, which, yeah, we are on Tech 3, by the way. Cigar is on Tech 3, and that's because he has, again, still pretty much double the mass. Flood is still pretty happy just to sit in his base and not really expand. Meanwhile, Cigar has this base. He doesn't have this base yet, though. Just grab one of these guys, and mass extractors are almost instant to build, and they pay for themselves in only like 3 or 4 seconds. So while it's great that he's reclaiming this stuff, I pester about that. Just grab one of these guys and just really quick, just build these mass extractors. They pay for themselves, again, almost instantly, and they really can't hurt you. There's really no pressure at all coming from up here, so there's no reason not to get these. And hey, look at that. I love it. He's going for it right now. So nice job. Shout out. That is great. Probably just a little bit sooner next time. And then again, these mass extractors, they're pretty much on your front lines. It can't hurt to grab with just like this guy. Just go build him really quick and then send him on like an attack move and just get all this juicy reclaim. But hey, we're starting to mass Tech 3 units now, which is pretty cool. Flood probably should be doing the same thing. I'd probably stop any production out of Tech 1 artillery. So that's really not going to do much. There's a couple units just sitting in here, which, yeah, there's kind of a lot going on, especially this base looks pretty cluttery. But one way to just make sure you have all your units, just click and drag your whole base, and then you can catch any stragglers like this, because, hey, that's a Tech 2 mobile shield generator. That could come in handy. Did Tech 2 flak? Wow. Yeah, that Tech 2 flak could be a total game changer if he sends it to the front line. Where did all those interceptors go? He had like 15 of them. But yeah, if you put flak on the front line, interceptors are just going to melt. And then if you have flak protecting your air range, it gives you like a kind of umbrella kind of thing. Then you can build gunships, and then you can just have gunships on the front line. So yeah, guys, get this. Just click and drag. Make sure you don't have any units sitting in your base like this. And what do we have? Ooh, attack missile defense. Static arty, guys. So this is another one that is classic of low elo. I myself was guilty of this too. When you run into a super turtly player like this, UEF, our particular turtle notorious for turtling, it's very common instinct to want to kind of match that and want to like outrange them. But guys, if you're facing a turtle, don't try to out turtle them. I actually have a video on this I'll link as well. I tried to do almost this exact same scenario, but I ended up losing. I tried to build an artillery base, and just exactly like what's happening here, the turtle player has a head start on artillery and on shielding and stuff, so you're not really going to be able to outproduce them with like a fire base. This is their main base. It's already shielded. He already has artillery. He has a crap ton of like point defense. So if you try to build a fire base in range of their like main base that has artillery in it, you're just gonna have a bad time, right? And that's kind of what Cigar's experiencing here. He's trying to, out standoff the already standoffish player, but Flood just has such a head start. 5 mobile missile launchers, 2 artilleries that are surrounded by power generators, which makes them fire faster. One of these is a Tech 2 power generator, cool. And oh my gosh, I just have to count these. 15 point defense, guys. That is crazy. Let me see if I can find a Tech 2 engineer to find out how much those things cost. Or maybe I can... no, I can't see how many there are. If I click his commander... So, point defense are 540 mass. That's so much mass, guys. That is just crazy. You're giving your opponent the ability to just take the whole map. If you invest into 15 point defenses and artilleries like this, that is insane, guys. You could have several armies go and like take more sections of the map. And I know it is scary to like expand. You want to make sure your base is really protected, but guys, one experimental can outrange this entire base. If that should be Cigar's game plan right now, is basically just to build, hey, look at this, he's building one experimental, and that's probably not even this could work, but if you build like a megabot or something, the spider bot is the squishiest experimental with like the shortest range. If you were to build the other Cybern experimental, the like megabot, that can just sit outside of the range of this base and just one by one pick off every single point defense, and there is not a thing that Flood could do about that. Same with Aeon and the GC, that'll just outrange. Maybe it won't quite outrange, but guys, any experimental will just walk through this base like they're in the park. Right? So it looks safe, it feels safe, and it feels good to build up point defense, but it's actually one of my new mistake videos is building point defense just in general, because point defense doesn't move, guys, and that's really what's clutch over here. Cigar has not built all this point defense, and he has basically all of the map. Well, he has these 2 corners, but really needs to build mass extractors. I think the mass extractors got picked off by like bombers. But yeah, no, rebuild these corners of the map, and then you'll just get so much mass. And am I reading this right? Flood has more eco than Cigar Abuser, and that is crazy because Cigar actually has the whole map. Oh, Cigar, come on, you can do it. Just take one of these guys and just build this mass extractor. I know you want to, and then maybe this one too, and that one actually. They really can't hurt. And if you zoom out and you see any green, just click some idle engineer and just go build it. There's a lot going on, but every now and then just zoom out, get a glimpse of what's going on, and just say, hey, I have a bunch of auto mass extractors, I'll do this. And then I do like this experimental play though. That's what I would have done instead of this fire base, which hopefully the fire base got reclaimed or something, or maybe it just got shot to death. But regardless, this push could be deadly for Flood. I know Flood has a lot of point defense. 15 point defense, that's crazy. Hopefully that'll come in handy. So, or Cigar, alternatively, you could have just gone for a nuke, which you'd have to scout your base and make sure your opponent doesn't have nuke defense. But I mean, what is he gonna do against a nuke if he doesn't have nuke defense, right? So I can take out everything. But ooh, we have a climactic battle coming in. This is looking pretty cool. Fighter bot coming in. Tech 3 units. Tech 1 units still on the field. Probably wouldn't put Tech 1 units on the field because it's just gonna be a mass dump. But that that is going to hurt. Spiderbot's aiming for the Tech 3 factory, and that is looking like a GG. One real last piece of advice is not to play with your food, guys. If you think you can go for the kill, I would just do it, especially in these 1v1 games. It looks like Flood surrenders. But yeah, guys, he doesn't quite get the comm kill. But yeah, if you think you can get the kill with the units you have, you should probably just go for the kill. Otherwise, there's a chance the commander could get away, and then maybe your force ends up like dying or something, and then your opponent can like reboom. So if you think you can go for the kill, usually go for the kill. If you're uncertain, then yeah, it's safe to go for the base and like kneecap them or handicap them. But in that case, I mean, it was so overwhelming, I probably would have just gone for the commander. But good game there. I'm gonna check out the score really quick because I just like doing that just to see where we're at on these. And Cigar Abuser, okay, pretty much just ahead on score. They're pretty even. It wasn't like a runaway by any means. Let's see, Mass in Cigar. That's what I would have expected. You see, Cigar kept going for the map control there, whereas Flood kind of was just happy to sit in his base. Energy, okay, similar story, pretty much just ahead the whole time. Total builds, so yeah, looking like Cigar just coming out the clear victor on this one. But and then I guess total kills was pretty even. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed that one. And guys, if you have your own replays, go ahead and send them in to me. Love to watch them. Love to learn. Again, it doesn't have to be super high level. It can be just kind of low elo. Again, that's what these low elo casts are for, just learning together. So hope you enjoyed. Hit me up on Discord or shoot me an email if you have a replay idea of your own. And I'll see you in the next video.